Hey guys, it's Lindsay and I have traveled all around the world for 12 months on $12,000 and that includes flights, food, and accommodation. It seems a little unbelievable, but there's only 2 things you need to know to travel on the cheap, and I'm gonna tell you what they are right now. There are so many how to travel on a budget videos on the internet, and they are all very helpful in their own right. However, when it boils down to, there's only 2 things. That's 4. There's only 2 things you actually need to factor in when you are trying to travel on a very strict budget. Number 1, flights. Flights are the most expensive part to any trip, and that is the thing that a lot of you guys get tripped up on when I say my $12,000 for 12 months. But here's the thing, if you're traveling the world on the cheap, you need to be opportunistic when it comes to booking your flights. I use Skyscanner, and this video is not sponsored by them. I'm not being paid by them in any way. I just really love them, and that's what I use to book and look for flights. Say you have 3 weeks off of school or work and you want to travel within those 3 weeks. Now that is a specific time frame, so what you want to do is go on Skyscanner, put in the dates that you want to travel, and then click your home airport to everywhere. And what it will do, it will start pulling up the places that you can fly from your home airport to anywhere in the world, lined up from cheapest to most expensive. And so what I normally do is just start going through those countries and figure out where I want to go and where I haven't been and what seems interesting to me, and that's how I book my trip. Now, before you actually go and book that ticket, you should probably do a little bit of research. You should see if you need a visa, if there's any sort of shots or medicine you need to before you go to that country. You should make sure that the country that you want to go to isn't super expensive, where you'll end up spending so much money in that country that you'll, kind of negate any money that you saved on the flight. But that is a really good first start to find cheap flights when you want to travel. So the next scenario that you might be in is if you want to go somewhere specific and you have vacation days that you can take anytime during the year. Now the way you'd want to do this is go back to Skyscanner, put in your home airport, then put in where you want to go, say Peru or Denmark, and then say your time is flexible. It will show you the cheapest times to go to that country, and then plan your vacation time around the destination that you want to go to. And finally, the best deals you can get when you are using Skyscanner is having a flexible timeline and being flexible on where you want to go. This is what I did for my trip. I knew I wanted to leave in August, but I didn't really care where I was going to go from the US to Europe. I was totally open to whatever country was cheapest to get me out of the US and across the ocean to the EU. And then once I was in Sweden, I just bought small little domestic flights that were incredibly cheap to get me around the EU and then eventually hop over to another new continent. You will literally save thousands of dollars using this flight planning method, and plus it's kind of like when you were little and you would spin a globe and then put your hand on it and be like, I'm gonna go there when I grow up, but you actually are grown up and you're doing it and you're just using flight prices to be your pointer finger. And 2, the main way to travel on the cheap is to travel to cheap places. I know, so obvious, but hear me out. So maybe you think it was so crazy that I was able to travel the world for 12 months on $12,000, but I'm about to blow your mind right now. When you actually do the math, let's take out $3,600 for flights, trains, visa fees, etc., the unfun things you need to pay for on your trip. And just to be clear here, this is extremely generous. You should not need this much, but let's say you're new to traveling and it's good to have a little padding. That will put us at $8,400 for the entire year for accommodations, food, and all of the fun. That puts us at $700 a month, which puts us at $23 a day. Okay, so $23 a day is nothing in North America, Europe, or Australia. But $23 is more than enough in Southeast Asia, India, and surroundings. Spend your time there. If you watch my $30 a day series, you will notice a trend. All throughout the European videos, I say things like whirlwind, didn't have enough time, stayed with a friend. That's because the EU is very expensive. If you are on a shoestring budget, don't go there. And if you're going to go there, you need to rock it through. You will still bleed money, but you need to get your butt from the west to the east as soon as possible. When I was in Thailand, specifically Chiang Mai, I was staying at a place that was $3 a night. A full plate of pad thai was $1, and I could get a full breakfast for easily $1.50. Add in some free activities like visiting temples, going on hikes, and you can be spending $10 a day while you're in Southeast Asia. But then if you go to India and Nepal, your costs drop even cheaper. I actually had a hard time spending money in India because the way I like to travel, I like to stay in local guest houses, I like to take local transit, I like to eat at local hole in the walls. I was spending anywhere between $5 and $10 a day, and I felt like the need for nothing. That was the most money I needed to spend, I wanted to spend. I was completely happy, and that was all I was spending. Not everywhere in the world is obviously that cheap, but if you are traveling for an extended period of time, you should see your bank account like one of those video game life meters. If you want to run around Iceland or North America, fine, but just imagine yourself as a character who's like depleting his life as you're spending money in those places. It's draining more and more money out of your bank account, and to maintain that balance that you need to be able to travel, you then need to spend an equal to more amount of time in places that are incredibly inexpensive. What that'll do is when you're only spending $5 to $10 a day, it will stop depleting your health or your bank account, and you will be able to settle back out into balance or normal. This is what I did. When I look over the 12 months that I was gone, I spent less than a month and a half in expensive countries. And the rest of the time, I was in Southeast Asia, India, or Nepal. It's all about balance, and it's totally doable, but you just need to do it. Hey guys, so that's it. I was going to start my vlog this week. This is another question answer video. I just wanted to get this done, I know, but I am working on vlogs. I am gonna put them out. I have gloves in my hand because, guys, I got my motorcycle license this week. I am super stoked, so I will be taking you around LA on a bike, hopefully sometime soon. I had ridden in India and Nepal and Southeast Asia, and I never did the correct paperwork to be able to ride in LA. But that's what I was doing this week. That's why I couldn't bring my camera, because I was on a bike being tested. But I passed, I'm stoked, and yeah, I can't wait to show you guys some vlogs of my life once I finally do it. Thanks so much, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.